Hi everyone. So today I'm going to be filming a beginner's kit for makeup. This is a very basic beginner's kit. I'm not even going to be mentioning lots of products. So this is very basic, very beginner's level. So before I get into this video, I do want to mention that most of the products that I'm going to be showing you are drugstore products. And the reason for this is because when you don't really know too much about makeup and you don't really know what foundation is good for you or what kind of skin you have, what's going to be good on your skin, what colors complement you, what your undertones are, those are all things that beginners don't really understand and don't really care for. I would not ever suggest that you go into Sephora and leave with a beginner's kit that costs you $300 and then you get home and you realize that the foundation doesn't match and that you don't like that kind of mascara, or you're never going to use a primer. Or so it's always good to start off with very good drugstore products, and once you get into makeup and you start realizing and learning and you know, knowing what things are for, then you can jump into higher end products one by one. But my suggestion, you can leave CVS with $50 worth of a beginner's kit and you can start experimenting. You can see what you like, what you don't like, and then at the end, when you know what you want, you go to Sephora and you get high-end products. This might sound a little contradictory because I just gave you a whole speech about a drugstore product, and the first product that I'm going to be mentioning is high-end, and it's actually the only high-end product that I'm going to mention in the video, so don't get scared. It is the Benefit Porefessional Primer. What a primer is for, it's just the base. It's what your makeup is going to sit on all day. It helps your makeup last all day. It puts the barrier between your skin and the actual makeup. This is very important. It helps your foundation come on flawlessly. You always need a primer. I actually got this as a gift in December of 2013, and we are now in July of 2014, and it's up to about here. So it's a $30 product, but it's lasted me more than half a year. And if it's still up to here, which is like the thickest part of the tube, it's probably gonna last me until close to the end of the year. So I would say about 30 bucks for a year. And if you're a beginner, you probably do even less makeup than I do. So Benefit Porefessional, you always need a primer. The second item that you should always have in your makeup kit, whether you are a beginner or not, is foundation. This foundation is the L'Oreal True Match. I use the color W3. This is what evens out your complexion. If you have any, you know, discoloration, if you have redness, if you have patches, if you have any blemishes, imperfections, the foundation is supposed to cover all of that up. It is the base of your makeup after the primer, of course. Third is a concealer. So you always need a concealer in your makeup kit. And the concealer that I use is the Rimmel London Match Perfection Concealer in the color 125 Fair. So it's the lightest one that they have. If you have any blemishes on your face that you need to cover up, if you have any scarring, a concealer is what you need. So I use a lighter concealer than my own complexion, just to highlight everything, to make everything look good, to make everything pop. But this does not work for everyone, and I feel like this is a mistake that a lot of people make. A lot of people think automatically, yes, concealer has to be lighter than your skin complexion. Not always. If you have dark circles and you put on a lighter concealer than your actual skin complexion, what you're doing is you're highlighting those circles. So the dark circles are gonna stick out even more. So now you're gonna have super dark circles. So when you have dark circles, you need a concealer that is the same exact color of your skin if you have dark circles. With that, what you do is you put on you can put on your concealer under, then you put on your foundation, and once everything is concealed and your dark circles are gone, then you can use a lighter concealer to highlight if you wish to highlight. Never ever go straight to highlighting when you have dark circles if you have not applied a concealer that is the same color as your skin. I know that I'm repeating myself a lot, but I feel like this is like the most common mistake that I see. Especially now with the whole craze over contouring and highlighting, a lot of people think that they can just put on something super light under their eyes and it's gonna cut it. Like, no. If you have dark circles, you need to correct those dark circles first before you move on into the Kim Kardashian look. So this is also by Rimmel London. This is the Stay Matte Long Lasting Mattifying Powder. The reason why you need a powder is because when you're using liquid foundation, when you're using liquid concealer, anything liquid, it creases, it goes inside your wrinkles. Like if you have really defined lines on, you know, the lines under your eyes, the lines here, if you happen to have any of those, it's going to crease. It's going to crease under that. So when you put a powder over the foundation just to set everything, It sets to your face and you're not going to see any like makeup buildup inside the lines of your face. This is going to have your back. Moving on to the next product that I believe is an essential, the Kardashian Beauty Endless Summer Matte Bronzer. I love this bronzer is because it has 3 different shades. It goes from light to medium to dark. This bronzer I definitely recommend it to any beginner. It's just like such an easy bronzer to apply. Like this is my favorite bronzer from the drugstore at all times. I feel like most bronzers, if you get too much on the brush and you get too much on your face, it takes so much work to blend it out. This bronzer, just because it has the 2 lighter sides, it's just like you blend it out and you're good. When you are a beginner, you don't want to go for like any like bright pinks or like bright oranges or like nothing too bright, because again, when you don't know how to work with a product and you apply it wrong, that's, first of all, it's the easiest way to get scared away from makeup. When you apply something wrong, you're like, oh my god, I'm never trying this again, this is crazy, I hate blush. So when you start off with like very neutral products that help you learn how to apply it because they're so easy to blend, it's more beginner friendly. It just like applies itself for you until you learn and you can move on to the bigger fish in the sea. This blush is by NYX Cosmetics and it's in the color Pinched. So blush you apply to the apples of your cheeks just to bring color back to your face, because when you apply foundation, the color from your face is gone. Like the redness that's like usually on your cheeks is kind of covered by the foundation. So to bring color back and bring life back into your face, what you do is you add a little bit of blush on the apples of your cheeks and it just makes your cheeks pop out. So now moving on to the eyes. Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. I love this brow wiz because the tip is very thin. So the fact that the tip is very thin, I don't know if that's just a factor for me because I naturally have very thin eyebrows. So to me, like I need something thin so that I can have more control when I'm filling in my eyebrows. But then it has an amazing spoolie that it's like if you're filling in your brows and you're doing it too harsh and you're starting to look like you have Sharpie, you kind of just like brush it out and some of the color bleeds out. This is my absolute favorite mascara, and it's not even just my favorite mascara from the drugstore. It's my favorite mascara, period. This is the L'Oreal Carbon Black Telescopic. This little tiny wand, let me see if you can see that better. This little tiny wand is amazing because it just gets into every single hair. It separates them, makes them longer, makes them thick. It's buildable, so if you want like a really bold spider lash look, this is your mascara. If you want natural lashes, this is your mascara. It all depends on how many coats you put, but this mascara is perfect. Like it doesn't run, it dries so quick, because my biggest pet peeve is a mascara that is so wet that you put it on your face and like 2 minutes later you blink and it's all over your eyes because it doesn't dry. Like no, this mascara dries as soon as it's on your lashes, so you're not gonna have a problem with bleeding or anything like that. Last but not least, some lipsticks that I really love are by Wet n Wild. These lipsticks are $2 and this is a beautiful nude lipstick that I wear all the time. And again, when you're a beginner, you want to start with colors like nudes and very light pinks. You don't want to, you know, overwhelm yourself and like go with crazy colors yet. You know, of course, if you're a little daring and you want to just go for it, go ahead. So I quickly want to mention brushes because of course you're going to be applying the makeup with something. So for a beginner, to apply your foundation, well, my primer I usually just apply with my fingers, but I feel like for a beginner it's especially important to use a blending sponge. This is from Real Techniques. Because I feel like when you apply your foundation with a brush, it can leave brush streaks. And if you're not really good at doing your makeup, you may not notice that you have brush streaks. You may not notice that you're not blending properly. It's like a mistake-free method to apply your foundation. Seriously, like there's no wrong way to do this. Like you just tap it around your face. You tap it, and just keep tapping it until you feel like all the foundation is perfectly on your face. This is literally mistake-proof foundation application. So for your powder, you always need a large powder brush. My favorite brush for powder is the Dual Fiber Face Brush by Real Techniques. And again, for beginners, I think that dual fiber brushes are very good because they're more gentle with products. Like it's easier to blend out a product with a dual fiber brush than it is with a regular brush. So if you get too much product on your face and you just need to buff it out with a large powder brush, this brush is perfect. You need a small blush brush because it leaves you room for mistakes. So if you get too much product on, it's just like in a little section of your face. So you just grab a blending brush, blend that out, blend it out until the product is gone. If the brush is too big, you're gonna blend it out and it's gonna be all over your face. And last but not least, a blending brush. Blending. To me, the most important part of applying your makeup is blending. You always want to blend. If you are truly a beginner and you've never worn makeup in your life, these products right here are more than enough for you to start with. I can honestly vouch that you're most likely gonna get a product or two out of here that you're not gonna like. You might get a blush that has a lot of fallout, and fallout just means that you get the blush and it just like crumbles off the brush, so you can't really get much color payoff on your face. You may get a foundation that makes you look orange. You may get a lipstick that makes you look dead. With beauty, it's all trial and error. So I feel like this is more than enough to get you started if you are a beginner. Get comfortable with these products, get comfortable with what they do, and then once you're comfortable with this is the base of your face. Then comes the lashes, then comes the crazy lipstick, then comes the crazy eyeshadow, the contour, and the highlighting. All of those things are things that you need to know how to have your base on your face first before you add that on. So yeah, this was my beginner's kit. I hope that this was helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.